Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna. Well, just like the sun doesn't need to be announced, you see it coming over the horizon. Many of you know Radhanath Maharaj as a good friend and a good advisor. He's one of the senior monks in our worldwide society of ISKCON. If I were to delineate or list the many wonderful things that he's accomplished, opening temples, writing books, making hundreds and hundreds of disciples. He was a member for many, many years of our international governing body, and he has for a number of years visited us in this little corner of North America down here by Mexico. So we're very fortunate to have Radhanath Maharaj here tonight. Take advantage of his association while he's speaking. Think of some questions that will stimulate the conversation. And I don't want to take up too much more of his time, but we're very fortunate. What should we do, Balaram? Should we say a big Hari Bol? Should we? You do it. Give him the mic, and we'll lead us in an auspicious welcome.
Yeah, but we'll do a Hare Krishna mantra.
There we go.
All right, everyone. So we will chant Hare Krishna together, very loudly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And thank you for coming, Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you, bro. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Thira Vanachari Jamuna Thira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari. Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Om Gyantimidandasya Gyananjanachalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktabinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I am sincerely grateful to be among all of you in this special city of San Diego. Thank you for taking your precious time to come here to Sri Sri Radha Giridhari's very beautiful temple. My special gratitude to His Holiness Bhadri Narayan Swami Maharaj for dragging me here. When we spoke on the phone for several minutes, he was expressing how he does not want to pressurize me. Because because he knows how many responsibilities and how busy and how many people and all of these things, and I don't want to pressure, and there's no pressure. And then he told me I must come. Not in those words, but indirectly. And I'm so grateful for him bringing me. So much in the world is perplexing, confusing, dividing, and so many uncertainties. Wars, earthquakes, droughts, floods, hatred, distrust in the name of politics. So much happening in the world. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Abrahmapa punarloka punaravartanorjana mamupetya konteya punarjanma nevidyate. From the highest planet to the lowest, everything's changing, everything's temporary. Nothing is really stable. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi. There's birth, old age, disease, and inevitable death. Is Krishna optimistic when he says these things, or is he pessimistic? He's actually transcendental. Because these things are inevitable. Padam padam yad vipadam natesham. Srimad Bhagavatam tells this is a world where there is danger at any step. And this holds true whoever we are, whatever our faith, whatever our social position, whatever our intellect or influence, there's danger at every step. That's just how this world was constructed. But what is transcendentally optimistic is it all has a purpose. And we can become so disturbed, distracted, when we're passing through the inevitabilities of life and we don't understand the actual purpose in which we're doing it. Shukadeva Goswami described that the greatness of life is the quality in which we live, not just quantity. Some years ago I was in California and there was a bus of youth of our Krishna movement. And I was invited to go on the bus with them. And we went to Northern California, to a place called Kings Canyon. Has anybody ever been to Kings Canyon? Please raise your hands. Well, just to see who's awake. How many have not been to Kings Canyon? sometimes what we see is based on the influence of the people we're with. Srila Prabhupada gave the example that nobody sees anything in the same way because we see it according to our state of consciousness. What is our experiences? What is our conditionings? What is our desires? What is our fears? And everyone is unique. It's a beautiful thing in life that every living being is unique. There's no two persons of any species that see things exactly the same. And Srila Prabhupada explained, it's like if you have yellow-colored glasses, everything looks yellow. Green-colored glasses, it's green. Purple-colored glasses, it's purple. And if you have clear-colored glasses, you see it the way it actually is. But we think what is according to how we're influenced. And in the world today, there's so many theories and so many ideas and so many ideologies and so many conceptions. And it's based on who we're with and which news channel we listen to. If you listen to one news channel, you'll see it one way and another way, and then we're fighting about it. But which one's right? There's so much speculation. So to get back to the story, I went to Kings Canyon. And I was with all these, like between 12 and 18 years old. And I'm much older. But we're riding in the bus for so many hours. And in Kings Canyon are the largest trees on planet Earth. And they're named after military generals. They're not named after saints or avatars. They're named after military generals. And the tallest tree in the world, who knows the name? Thank you. General Sherman. He was Civil War. Anyways, why he got the name of the biggest tree named after him, I don't know. But this tree is so big. And according to what's written underneath it, it's over 2,000 years old. And it says if a mouse looked up at a 6-foot man, it would be the same experience as a 6-foot man looking up at General Sherman. So it's actually really awesome. It's a sequoia tree. It really is the majestic power of nature. It's such an opulence. So we're all we were doing kirtan when we went to the tree, and then we were all just looking at it. And I asked, the young people, this tree has been standing here. We went there about 25 years ago. This tree was standing here before Jesus Christ was born. This tree was standing here when the Roman Empire was ruling Europe. This tree was here. When Christopher Columbus was looking around trying to find something. It was here before the Revolutionary War, before the Civil War, before World War I, before World War II, before the Korean War, before the Vietnam War, and before all these other wars, before the Great Depression. Usually history is based around wars and tragedies. Now, if this tree could speak human language, the same soul, the same Jivatma is in that tree, experiencing life for over 2,000 years. What would be the message of the tree for us? And one girl, she was 12 years old, she began to speak. It was so moving. You all know what channeling is? It seemed like she was channeling the tree. She began to cry. She was so emotional. And she said, the tree is telling humanity, why are you wasting your time? Why are you so prone to distractions? I've been here 2,000 years. You may live 70 or 80 years. Your lives are so short. It is so insignificant. Why do you waste your precious time fighting over insignificant, irrelevant things? Why are you so disturbed about all of this? There's a higher purpose in life. To know the soul and to know God. That was her realization. And it's such a good lesson. Why do we get caught up with all these perplexities and complexities? Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, the basis of truth is to understand that we're the eternal soul and we're part of God. The great potential of the soul is to know God and to love God and to serve God. And when we understand that principle, and we're willing to adjust whatever situation we're in to pursue, then through all the joys and tragedies of life, we make progress, we grow. Otherwise, every moment is priceless, and it's wasted. Just recently I was at a university in Boston. I was asked to speak, and I told a story that I'd like to share with you. I was writing this book, The Journey Home. This was about some years ago. And I wanted to go to some of the places that I was long ago so it could help make me feel like I'm there. And then I could remember better. So I went to Rishikesh in the Himalayas on the bank of the Ganges. And I spent some days there. And there was one mountain, very famous mountain, that I lived in, and I wanted to go up there just to re-experience it. But that mountain has been abandoned since the mid-70s, and nobody's been up there. So myself and one devotee who speaks the local language, we were going to climb the mountain, and when we got to the foot, there was military guards with weapons. And they blocked the way. There was even a gate. They said, nobody climbs the mountain. We said, we just want to go up and just walk around. He said, no, you cannot go up. It was very like immigration. And not polite. Nobody goes up the mountain. I said, why? It's just a jungle. There's nothing up there. He said, because there is a mother tiger, a tigress. There is nothing more dangerous than a mother tiger, because she has several cubs, and the cubs are running around. And if you go up there, or anybody goes up there, if you start walking toward the cub, and the mother feels that you may hurt the cub, the mother becomes courageous, ferocious, and she will attack you and kill you immediately. No questions asked. So we're down here with we won't even go up there with our guns because she's so dangerous. So that was a pretty scary story. So I asked my friend, offer him 50 rupees. It's like, $3 or something. So he offered him 50 rupees. And he took the 50 rupees. He said, you can go. And we asked, what about the tigers? He said, she won't bother you, you're a holy man. So we went up and we spent, so many hours walking around, and the tigers didn't bother us. But the truth of the story is that it is true. A mother tiger is that ferocious to protect her child. It's motherly love. In her particular gunas and karmas of being a tiger, that's how she expresses her motherly love. She's willing to die for her cubs. So that propensity to love and be loved is the very essential nature of the very living force, or the soul. And this wonderful durlabhamana janma lobhya samsare, this valuable, rare human life is an opportunity to make progress toward reconnecting with our own true self, with our own soul, and living according. That is Dharma. Srila Prabhupada describes there are so many religions which are types of faith, but at the heart of every religion is Sanatana Dharma. And Srila Prabhupada explains this is beyond sectarian concepts. Dharma is the intrinsic nature of a person. And he gives the example, the dharma of a chili pepper is it's hot. The dharma of sugar, it's sweet. The dharma of water, it's liquid. And Srila Prabhupada explains when the water is in an unnatural condition, it may become solid as ice. But as soon as the temperature goes down, you don't have to change the ice. It will naturally melt into water because it's its nature. So what is the nature of the soul? To serve. When the soul is in this body, it's serving the body, it's serving the senses, it's serving the mind, serving our relatives, serving our nation, serving the government. We're forced to serve. When we're hungry, we have to serve our hunger. When we're thirsty, our thirst. When we're angry, we're just serving that propensity for anger. Nityo nityanam chaitanas chaitananam. We are all dependent. And we're all interconnected in this way too. But Sanatana Dharma, the eternal nature of life itself, is to serve God with love and to feel God's love. And it is that Sanatana Dharma to cultivate, to awaken, to grow in that love. That is the purpose of life. I just received a message today, just recently. It was one great saint, Ramanujacharya. It was his 1008th birthday, just last month. But I got the message today. Because it usually takes me a few weeks before I see emails and stuff. 1008 years Sripad Ramanujacharya lived in this world. And even to this day he has tens and millions of followers who remember him every year, who take care of his temples and his projects that he created, and who follow his teachings. And our own beloved Guru Maharaj often quoted from Ramanujacharya. So I'd like to just share one story, but it may become more. Ramanujacharya, he was born in a place called Sri Purambudar, in the southern part of India. And when he was young, the Acharya, or the great spiritual master of the Sri Sampradaya, his name was Yamunacharya. He was great scholar, great lover of God. He had such powerful, tremendous influence, and had disciples who were truly enlightened beings. It's a beautiful, esoteric, long story, But as he passed from this world, he revealed that Ramanujacharya should be his successor. And everyone accepted it. And Ramanujacharya had never met him. He wasn't initiated or anything. But he had that inner connection, heart to heart, from hearing his teachings. And one of the disciples of Yamunacharya, whose name is Mahapurna, who was actually a relative of Ramanujacharya, Ramanuja asked him to perform the ceremonies of initiation. Now here is Mahapurna giving the initiation and doing the ceremony for Ramanuja on behalf of his guru, and yet he's already accepted Ramanuja as his senior, as the acharya, as the leader of the sampradaya. And Ramanuja was taking lessons and getting various mantras from 5 different of his godbrothers. And they all accepted him as their leader. There was just no envy, no jealousy, nothing. And one day after Ramanuja so many people were coming, he was so compassionate and so learned and so powerful in his devotion, and that more and more people were learning from him. One day, his guru, Mahapurna, he said, I want you to learn a mantra from a person, one of my godbrothers, who has such powerful realizations that he can impart this mantra to you. You should go to him. He was living in Srirangam, where this saint, whose name was Gostapurna, he lived 50 miles away. So Ramanuja, in those days there was no Ubers. There wasn't even rickshaws in those days. He walked. He walked 50 miles to this holy city. And he met with Gostapurna, and very humbly, Ramanuja's the acharya, he's the leader of the sampradaya. He bows down, prostrated before this elderly saint, and says, my guru, Mahapurna, your godbrother, wanted me to receive this sacred mantra from you. And Gostapurna said, I'm not interested in giving this mantra to people. I don't see anyone in this world who's qualified to receive it. It's very high, very pure, and you have to be very pure to receive it. So, come back another time. So Ramanujacharya just bowed down. He didn't say, oh, I'm the acharya, you must do what I say. He bowed down and felt, I'm not qualified, and he went back. And soon after that, there was a festival in Srirangam, and Gostapurna came for the festival, and the pujari of the deities told Gostapurna that the deity is telling you, you must give this mantra to Ramanuja. So Gostapurna sent a message to Ramanuja, you could come back to my place again. So we walked 50 miles. He reached there. Gostapurna says, it's not the right time. He went back 50 miles. Time and again, every time he came, he said, not now, but you must come back. He did this 18 times. It's 100 miles round trip. So 18 times 100 is? God, you did that without a calculator. It's amazing. 1,800 miles. He's walking back and forth and he's never complaining. He's just thinking himself so unworthy. Because he understands the value of it. When we take blessings, realizations, and grace cheaply, then we have this tendency to expect. We feel entitled. The sense of entitlement can really be the cause of so much distress, not only for ourselves, but distress that we cause others. Well, Ramanujacharya just accepted, I'm so unworthy. And one time at Sri Rangam, after 17 times back and forth, one of the disciples of Mahapurna met Ramanuja, and Ramanuja was crying. He said, I've been back and forth 17 times, and Gostipurna is such a great man. He's so compassionate, he's so benevolent, but I'm so unworthy. I'm not ready to receive it. So he went back to his guru and told him Ramanuja's condition. And Gostipurna said, call him again. And when he arrived, Gostipurna said, I was testing you. Because I was thinking there is no one on this planet who's worthy of receiving this mantra. Anyone who sincerely chants this mantra will be liberated from the miseries of material existence and will be blessed by Lord Narayan to receive the true happiness of prema, or love of God. That is how sacred this mantra is. But it cannot be spoken to anyone who doesn't have a completely pure heart. So I order you, Ramanuja, before I give you this mantra, you must promise me you will never speak it to anyone. And if you do, you will go to hell. You've heard that before. So Ramanuja submissively heard the mantra. He received it. And he was feeling so deeply, deeply grateful to his guru and so deeply grateful to Krishna. And he was going to spend the night in that village before going home to Sri Rangam. But at night, on his way back to where he was staying, he saw so many people, just common people, just walking around, children playing, women shopping, men, working, people gossiping, whatever people do. He just saw everybody. And the effect of this mantra on him, it caused him to feel such deep, profound compassion upon everyone. The symptom of loving God is we see every living being as a child of God. And we see the ignorance of people bereft of that love with great compassion. Paraduka Dukhi. Srila Prabhupada quoted Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that the characteristic of a person who's actually enlightened with love of God, with Krishna Prem, is that another person's suffering becomes my suffering, and another person's happiness becomes my happiness. There's the happiness of the body and the senses, the happiness of the mind. Then there's the happiness of the heart and the happiness of the soul. And when we understand that we are in this body, but we are the eternal soul, knowledge is to seek the happiness of the soul and to harmonize the needs of the body and the mind with the dharma or the nature of our soul. Which means to harmonize our body, our mind, our heart, our everything with loving service to the Lord, because that's the nature of the soul. Ramanuja was seeing all these people. Some were happy, some were miserable, but he saw them all bereft of the only thing of true value. So the next morning he went to the town and he called out very loudly, "I have priceless gems. I have invaluable jewels that I'm going to give freely to everyone. Come to this temple tomorrow in the courtyard." And the word spread that Ramanuja, who's already a very famous person, he doesn't lie. He's going to give out free jewels to everyone. How many people you think came? Everyone came. There were so many people that he had to climb to the rooftop of the temple. And he was looking down and seeing them all. And they were all actually really receptive. Because they were waiting for their jewels. And when Ramanuja looked at them with tears of compassion in his eyes, he called out that you are all more dear to me than my life itself. I'm willing to sacrifice anything to make you happy. I have the most valuable jewel in all of existence that I want to give to each of you. Their hearts were so open, and they were feeling so grateful for this opportunity to receive. Ramanuja said, everyone, the crest jewel of all jewels, which will give you the wealth. If you take care of this jewel carefully, you will get the wealth of eternal happiness and eternal love. Now everybody repeat after me. They were receptive. And he called out this mantra at that time, which was prominent. Om Namo Narayanaya. He said, we will chant 3 times, everyone loudly from your heart, from your souls. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Everyone was completely happy. They didn't feel cheated. They felt that we came, Dhruva Maharaj, he describes when he went to the jungle, at that time, this is...
It's reverberating.
This is definitely an esoteric temple. Dhruva Maharaj, he was broken-hearted because his father, he felt, totally betrayed him. His stepmother just crushed his heart with harsh, cruel words. His mother was just helpless and pathetically helpless. So he left home. He was only 5 years old because he wanted a kingdom greater than his father or grandfather or great-grandfather. It's like Lord Brahma. He wanted a greater kingdom than them, and he was determined to have it. And Narada Muni, he gave Dhruva Maharaj the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And he chanted that mantra and became purified. And through chanting that mantra and following Narada Muni, his guru's instruction, he saw Lord Vishnu. And upon seeing Vishnu, love for Vishnu awakened in his heart. And then Krishna asked him, now, what would you like? I will fulfill any desire. And Dhruva said, I came looking for broken pieces of glass, but I have achieved the diamond of your loving service. The only thing I desire is to be the servant of the servant of the servant of your servants. So that was the experience of the whole town. They were all celebrated. Everyone was loudly calling out, it was, and it was reverberating everywhere. And it started reverberating in Gostipurna's ashram. The secret mantra that he never gave to anybody. Now he's hearing it echoing in all directions. People are dancing around singing it. The most common people in the streets. And he asked one of his disciples, what's going on? He said, Ramanujacharya has given the mantra to everybody. He was fuming with transcendental anger. Ramanujacharya was so happy to have performed this service. You know what he did? He went back to his guru's ashram to thank him for giving him the mantra so he could give it to everybody. So he came to the ashram, and Ramanujacharya did his Dandavat pranams. He bowed down and tried to put his head in the feet of Gostipurna to thank him, and Gostipurna was, "You rascal! You defied my instruction. I ordered you not to tell anyone. No one is qualified, and you've told everyone. You've ruined everything. Who do you think you are? Get out from here. I don't ever want to see your sinful face. For what you have done, you have condemned yourself to hell. Ramanuja, with tears of respect, he said, I'm sorry, but what could I do? You told me that anyone who chants this mantra sincerely will get liberated from suffering and achieve love for God. What a great thing. All of these thousands of people will go to Vaikuntha. And one insignificant person like me goes to hell so that they could all go back to Godhead. That's glorious. It's such a tiny little small price for a little man like me to go to hell so all these people could go back to Krishna. When Gostipurna heard this, he cried. He said, from this day on, you are my guru. You have taught me what it means to love God. This compassion is the true expression of love for Narayan. Gostipurna bowed down to Ramanuja's feet. Ramanuja bowed down to Gostipurna's feet. Gostipurna embraced him. You are like my father. Ramanuja said, no, I'm nothing. Gostipurna says, your sacrifice for the well-being of all these people, you are most dear to Krishna. Ramanuja said, no, you are most dear to Krishna. I was only delivering your message and your grace. That is my only qualification. That was their interaction. And here we are, 1,008 years later, still telling this story. And our beloved Guru Maharaj Srila Prabhupada told this story too. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came with this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The mantra that includes all other mantras. In this age of Kali, the Upanishad describes it is the most powerful and effective medicine to awaken this love for Krishna. And at the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was spreading this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, there were also Brahmins who were very angry at Srivas and Advaita and everyone because they were chanting this mantra out loud and they were giving this mantra to everyone. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described, I'm like a fruit seller and I have these fruits of Krishna Prema, love of God. And I've come to this world to distribute these fruits freely to anyone who is willing to accept it. Chaitanya Charitamrita describes Lord Chaitanya and his associates, the Panchatattva. They came to plunder the storehouse of love of God. This treasure chest of love of God was sealed, except for very, very exclusive people over the ages. Even when Krishna appeared, it was only very qualified, highly enlightened people could really understand and receive. But now Krishna is coming himself in the mood of Sri Radha to distribute freely, without considering what is auspicious, what is an auspicious time or inauspicious, what is an auspicious place or inauspicious, who is an auspicious person or inauspicious, whatever a person has done or not done, giving freely the opportunity through this beautiful Maha Mantra and the chanting of Krishna's holy names, God's holy names. They plundered the storehouse of love of God, they tasted the contents, and then they distributed it profusely. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, with my 2 hands, how many fruits can I distribute? I have limitless fruits. So therefore, whoever is my devotee, please help me to distribute these fruits of love of God through this chanting of this Maha Mantra. And our beloved Srila Prabhupada, how much risk and sacrifice coming on that cargo ship, leaving his home in Vrindavan, wandering. He said, I was wandering like a vagabond in New York City. And you met him in 1966? 67 and 26 Second Avenue. One of the senior most devotees in all creation is here. And we are missing Madhusudan Prabhu with so much love and gratitude in our hearts. He had so much faith in the holy names of the Lord. Why would anyone, he wasn't just trying to start a movement, he was assisting Lord Chaitanya in distributing the fruits of love of God through this Hare Krishna mantra. And somehow or other, what is our qualification to receive it? What is our qualification to share it with others? We're simply grateful for this supreme blessing of serving the Lord and His beloved devotees. And when we appreciate the value of the spiritual gift we've been given, then we will not be disturbed or distracted by all of these complexities and speculative predicaments that the world is always in. It's like in a stormy ship, when there's a good anchor, the ship remains afloat and steady. The association of saintly people, or those who are striving to be saintly, our sadhana of hearing the glories of the Lord and chanting the names of the Lord, it's not a mechanical process. It's very interesting. Srila Prabhupada didn't just tell us to do it. He told us to do it sincerely. So many times he would plead with devotees, take this Krishna consciousness seriously. Be sincere. And in one beautiful purport of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami, Srila Prabhupada explains, Krishna prema, love for Krishna, is the rarest of all things. Why it is so rare? Because you can never achieve it. We can only, Krishna gives it by His grace. If He's not pleased to give it, there's no way for anyone to ever access it. And when Krishna gives it, when He gives love for God, Krishna becomes subordinate to that devotee's love. So it's very rare. And then Srila Prabhupada, I'm quoting Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, but Krishna gives it very easily if we are serious, sincere, and have no ulterior motives. Sincerity means we're practicing with character. Sharanagati. We're actually really trying to take shelter. Some siddhi or haritoshanam, we're really trying to please Krishna. And however fallen and however unqualified we may be, if we just continue practicing sincerely, striving to take shelter of the holy names in a mood of a servant of a servant of a servant, striving to resist our ulterior motives. Manmana bhava mad bhakto majam. Krishna promises He will give Himself if we chant the holy names and serve the Lord and His devotees sincerely. And then we realize, what is the source of that mother tiger's ferocious love for her child? It's her soul's love for God that's within the heart of every living being. Thank you very much. May we have kirtan for a few minutes?
Hare in the Krishna Lounge.
After we have the kirtan, there's a nice dinner for everyone.
Actually, if you'd like to go to dinner instead of kirtan, please go.
It's opposing taste.
Yes. Siddhanta Prabhu, my dandavats for you. So wonderful to see you. Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatyate Satharine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nitai Go Hari Go, Hari Go, Hari Go, Hari Go. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much.
We're going to say more. Should I give announcements? Thank you so much, Maharaj Raslan. Thank you so much for visiting Hare Krishna. One more Hare Krishna for Maharaj to visit. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now we're going to serve out prasadam now. We're going to serve out in lines here, but first